All right, sorry about that, folks. I think we're back, hopefully. For those rejoining, that's a second goal from New Pro. Our bad on the stream end of things. Hopefully, we don't have further issues on that. But if we will, we'll switch up cameras potentially here. So don't worry, don't worry. We're back. We're back. Just had to take a quick break, I guess. You know, we weren't prepared for this hot start. That's at 2 minutes in. It's gonna be snagged here at the bottom of the lane by Sosax. Sosax working it up the floor. What a pass, but the finish not quite there for EQ. And that's gonna be a clear down to the midfield. Taken back by Graham Cracker. Graham right down the lane. That's almost in. Rebounded here with just a little bit of time. Not that much with EQ. That's going to be cleared as well. Now the boost coming in pretty hot. That's a slap shot. Might have had an extra second to spare, but hurrying that one, it will be right out to the wedge where it's retained and slapped out of there. But again, another kind of quick one that's intercepted. So both these teams off to a frantic start. It seems here, just trying to find their rhythm. And you know, that's okay. That's going to happen sometimes the first few minutes of a lot of streams. Now, that said, that is a supreme shot from Reese. Getting end to end all in one piece, and that is a three-piece at that for the 7th point. What a great shot that was. No hesitation. Much like the last couple of shots I was mentioning, the shot attempts from both teams were kind of quick fire. So was that, but that one just found the right results. Great hit. All the meanwhile, over here it will be no basket. Still looking for their first basket on the offensive end. Now a stun there is a big kind of whirling clear there coming in before the collection. A nice snag coming in from Wolfie Snow Heart, that is, and trying to get that first goal. The goal was open briefly, but not quite able to get there in time. Were the no basketeers as they will be stunned out, but it's taken back as Lucifer BBX. Sending it down to the other side, a little dubstep disc before Reese regathers and sends over to midfield. Now that's going to bounce right on over to Lucifer, VBX. And now back to the Cloud. Lucifer trying to find that nugget pass maybe, and a lot of mustard put on that back pass. So that's going to make it tough on the catch as they try and regather here. Meanwhile, blue player over at that route, that's a Ghost. Kind of eyeing it down before backing it out, so they're gonna have some time, and I think this is what they need to do here. Seeing some of the slowdown coming out from no basket, but unfortunately the defense a bit too aggressive. Graham Cracker is there, a great pass leading in the stride, but again on this shot a bit hurried there and will be scurried up at the top. A few different players all collapsing on Ghost before the recovery. So now taken here by Ghost. Ghost sending it up to the ramp, looks like, but that's going to be just off to the side where it's regathered by Lucifer. Both teams definitely kind of in chaos mode at the moment. And speaking of, I think we'll see chaos later on in the streams tonight. But a couple of great moves from Ghost, and they're up to 9 points. Looking like a little bit of a, I'm not sure you'd call it a dribble, but just, you know, taking the dog for a walk before putting it home. A lot of bite as well as a bark, and they're up to 9 points here. Now taken up top by the Cloud, and that's going to be a very, very clustered up midfield. You see 4 or 5 different players all in the same spot. Now, that corner shot may be always a danger of going in when those clears go off those corner panels. A slapper into the bubble. 3 defenders now. 4 defenders, in fact. All inside that bubble. And with that, maybe in position for Connect 4 to connect with some more. But a quick stack coming in from No Basket's going to get that back, but not for too long. Beautiful delivery to Graham from Reese. And they're up 11 points here. And X-Antidote asking in the chat on the stream schedule today. I'll post a link for you. You can take a look on the website there. Both channel 1 and 2 are running pretty much the next couple hours, 2-3 hours. There's several matches in a row, but also a lot of matches being played tonight for sure. So getting what we can for sure. New pro trying to get that disc and hurting it off to that other side. Maybe even a bigger lead about to happen if they're not careful. But the stacks now boosting back with a little bit of time, not too much, but no basket getting that goal or that disc right back. It's still looking for their first goal, and we're already approaching 3:20 left here in this round. So desperately needing to find a little bit of offensive rhythm here. Definitely for the side of Connect 4. They're in a pretty good rhythm overall. You know, a few quick shots aside, they've gotten those goals more often than not, and mostly predicated off of some pretty good passes as well as some rebounds. And with that, we'll be taken here by Sosax right at the boot there. And that's a really nice clear. So now trying to link up, but Reese, a couple stuns in the backfield is actually going to enable Graham Cracker now to get that disc back before a quick sling. Now there is a deep goalie there, as you can see, Wolf. So have to be careful about those slap clears, otherwise they will be dove upon. Now Wolf does get that clear, going to be grabbed here by EQ Beka. But the take from Nupro right through midfield and right below the arms. Looked like the arm was actually out, perhaps for Ghost there, and it's still out. So one arm bandit now making a reappearance onto the streams tonight. But Reese with the disc, Reese being stunned. And another grab here by Graham Cracker. Nice one, in fact. We'll drive it in, and beautiful delivery once more. We're seeing a lot of that great team play pay off to the tune of 13 here in round 1 for Connect 4. Yeah, see, Archangel. See, I'm all tongue-tied. I don't even need to be. I'm in total rapping mode right now. But that said, 9, yeah, got Big Bad Badger Moles. What a name. Versus Forecast. And yeah, that is correct, of course. Over on Channel 1, we got, I think, a master match going on at the moment as well. But we'll be seeing a good variety of teams here. In fact, we have Ignite, Bangerang later on in the night, Chaos Schrodinger's Disc, Ancient Athletes, Lab Rats, like I mentioned, Forecast, and Big Bad Badger Moles, and Project Mayhem Spaghetti, Gen Z High Voltage, Fire Ferrets, Chaosify. There's a lot of matches, basically, that is to say, tonight between the two channels. So you got a lot of options, for sure. That's trying to find their first option. That's a great grab in the tunnel from EQ. EQ couldn't get the clear, however. That's going to bounce off that block in the trap. Meanwhile, at the Pac-Man, it will be sent Backman into the orange lane. Somebody needs to call Batman, because right now, this team is robbing them of their opportunities. That said, robbing that opportunity, it's Wolfie. Snowheart showing a lot of defensive heart. Definitely inside that goal. Has to do it again. Can he? Will he? No, it's New Pro. Gets it right back for the 15th point. Graham Cracker, the assist. And Ark saying, call me Phoenix. Also can do. I don't know why my words are failing me a little bit today. This week in general, like I mentioned, I'm all over the place with my names. I've truly caster's cursed myself this cycle. But in any case, it's going to be the first round going pretty solidly, as you can see, to the side of Connect 4. Now, there were a few good defensive plays for sure on the side of no basket here. But really not able to get too much on the offensive side. The chances that they did have to score maybe some goals, they ended up being really quick throws and slaps, basically, where they just didn't really give themselves time to line up a shot or find the passes. And I think if they can just tone that down a little bit, you know, kind of reel it back in for round 2, they'll still have a good chance here at making a comeback situation. And as I said, sometimes in the early rounds, especially for teams, you know, just kind of working into their rhythm, we had that break week. It's a new cycle now, and it takes a little time sometimes to just get that stability. So things could always change for sure. But I know if you're on the side of Connect 4, you're very, very pleased with the results of that first round coming in. Now, of course, for Connect 4, they are a new team by roster. Of course, Well, by name, not by roster, I should say. These are some recognizable faces from other teams earlier in the season. You know, for Graham Cracker coming off of Team Geometry prior in the Gold Division, you had just as well New Pro and Koalas, had Reese Pieces coming from Reverb, and as well Ghost from Koalas. So kind of a little mishmash. But that said, over into the second round, a joust quite quickly here is going to be grabbed by Sosax. Sosax right through the mid lane, and that's going to bounce a few different times before the nice stack chains together here. But that said, a grab back from Beka, and this might be their chance if had it not been for the stun coming out from Graham. So Graham cracking some skulls and getting that disc back as it goes into the orange lane. A lot of players boosting forward, and that was nice. 3 different ones from No Basket. And look at that now. The connections all the way down the floor. They are flying, and they are finding their first goal here in round 2. And for that matter, this match. As I said, sometimes it's all you need is just one intermission. And then the next round, you come back out of it fresh and new. That's exactly what they wanted, and they got it. And that was the reason they got that was just the quick change. The chains, they were there in a hurry. And that time it was actually Connect 4 who were a little bit slower. You know, a few of them kind of floating down midfield. Meanwhile, those chains just blitzed by them like lightning. So very nice job on the behalf of No Basket, but now need to defend this one. New Pro with a disc, inverting and sending to Bowtie. Good reset. They have Ghost as well as New Pro kind of on either of those posts, left and right, and then into the center. It's Ghost. Not the easiest catch there on that play. There was a defender kind of at that post, but you know, Ghost doing a very good job to maneuver around. I guess it is in fact difficult to grab a Ghost. Average Toast stopping by asking who won the first round. Yeah, it was Connect 4 in round 1. It was actually 15-0 if I recall. And I was kind of mentioning, you know, second round, you could see an entirely different one, as is often the case. And thus far, I mean, that is the case. They scored their first 2 points. They've got a couple nice turnovers here. And even another one caused right there. There's Sosax. The triple boost now going down the floor. Actually, one opting for the midfield play. So they even have options for a reset. Well, they need it. Looks like, well, no, they did have an angle perhaps, as a midfield clear is intercepted by Sosax. So definitely waiting in the right place. And I have some opportunities at the goal. I think round 1, as I was mentioning, was just a little bit rushed on some of the shots, but certainly finding some more opportunities here. And they are very rushed on the stacks, but that's, of course, a good thing. They are fast. But with that, will be Reese with the dish off to New Pro. New Pro going to back it out just gently down here on the stream tonight. Is Bacon, good grab, but couldn't find a clear, really tap boost from Sosax, and that one will be a little bit more successful. Now a deep fling, though, it's going to be intercepted by Graham Cracker. Graham Cracker gets that one into the midfield where it bounces around a little bit more, tapping it back to the bottom of the ramp, and recovering is Graham. Graham with some moves and right into the goal as the goalie was stunned, heavily bothered by a few different players all surrounding him. So 4-2 after 3 minutes of play in round 2. Thus far, the pace certainly slower on the offensive end for Connect 4, as they will indeed Connect 4. But so goes the ebbs and flows of Echo, don't you know? Back to the bottom of the ramp. There will be a couple players converging on it here for No Basket, but so will the stack converging on them. Lucifer now being stunned out by that defensive player there. That's Ghost. And Ghost now into the tunnel, but it will be taken back by Sosax. And there's Graham Cracker, a great grab again. Now we're starting to see a few of those quick flings. The goal is open on the other end. Actually, no, covered. My mistake, but it will still be a 2-on-1 situation. A gentle pass, but a little too tough on the reach. So a missed opportunity for a Connect 4. Though they still may recover yet. There's a lot of pressure kind of in that area, as it does get sent to the trap and into the tunnel where it's recovered right back for Ghost. Now at the nest, having trouble on the catch was New Pro. And this just may enable, if they get those stacks together again, a couple boosts. They miss that last regrab, and that might be what cost them that particular goal. One extra regrab, and they may have had enough time to grab it and score, but instead, punishing them was Connect 4. They got back in a hurry, and got back in a hurry twice there as some more brawls go on in the mid-line. See people in the chat there talking about the power outages and stuff, and Texas, yeah, tough time for sure. I know there's several of our chatters, our viewers here the last couple days have been mentioning that stuff. Tough, really tough. Hopefully all that stuff settles itself soon and everyone gets their power back, because man, definitely a tough situation. So for those tuning in, you know, through the storms, through the weather, well, right there, it's Graham Cracker. Well tethered pass from Ghost as well. The connection is real, and indeed it's a 6-2 advantage with 4:33 left. You know, they haven't had as many of them here in round 2, those passing plays for Connect 4, but the ones that they've had have been nice. The ones in round 1 were quite nice. Love seeing it. But still a very, very close game. So, you know, no basket is right within reach. That's just out of the reach, actually, of the diving goalie. New Pro will invert once again a little bit. Kind of had an awkward sideways angle, so not sure if the orientation was all screwy on their end, but that's certainly something that would mess with mine. That said, taking it back, EQ saying, that's mine, and right on time with the stacks. There it is. This time they got the grabs all up in a row, and they line it up for now just a 2-point difference. So sacks. And those fast stacks. It's always one of the big things that we try to promote and emphasize, really, when it comes to you know, how you play and approach each match, right? Like every team in the league will make some mistakes from time to time. There'll be missed passes, there'll be missed shots, but you know how you can make up for it? Speed. You just make up for it with quickness. That's it. If you can stack better than the other team more consistently, you can get away with a lot of miscues because you just get the disc right back in a hurry as Ghost. We'll talk about a hurried response, only 22 seconds in since that last joust, and they've put themselves back up by 4. So just undoing the good feels. Otherwise, that no basket had built up. But still yet they're within reach. Less than 3 minutes left here in the second round. If they want to see a third, there's going to be a score necessary here rather soon. A great pass, though, to Wolfie. Wolfie right down the line. A really nice rollout here. Sosax, though, getting stunned. And right back, though, is EQ. And wow, what a 2. After the stun, the steal, the delivery. It's signed, sealed, delivered. And those kind of plays will definitely send shivers down the spine of a team. They're feeling good. They're feeling the heat now. And that applies to both teams. You got, you know, for no basket, they're feeling that offensive heat. And I think now for Connect 4, they're feeling a little bit of that pressured heat. You know, they know they got to keep the foot on the pedal here, lest they be looking at a round 3 really soon with this momentum changing. So let's see. New Pro is going to try and score again. Can they react? Yes, they will. 15 seconds that time. So the full credit of Connect 4. Even after being scored on a couple times there, they came right back in a hurry, wasting no time with just a fundamental cross play right to that diving player from the midline twice now. So they've really been feasting essentially off of these types of, you know, 1-2 punches essentially from one pass into a great goal. We do get a timeout here, it seems, real quick. Maybe one of the players having connection issues, perhaps. So could be a ping thing as well. Looks like maybe Sosax, or just could be a case where someone needs to go restart or take a drink, or maybe they left the dog outside. I don't know. Could be a multitude of things. But 150 left here in the second round, only a 4-point difference. So once we get back into this game, certainly no basket doesn't need a 3 per se, need to force any 3s, but if they can just get a couple of plays much like Connect 4 where they have those efficient rollouts again and just, again, fundamental dives on that goalie, soft passes. You know, a lot of the issues I think in that first round especially were the very tough to catch passes, the ones that were going, you know, 100 miles an hour essentially. Those ones can be tough to deal with for sure, but I think they've slowed it down a lot more on some of these passes now. They've sped it up on the stacks, so they got slower where they needed to get slower. They've gotten faster where they needed to get faster. But in the meantime, it's been a great showing for Connect 4. Everyone on their team currently has stats on the board on just about every category. I mean, points-wise, no one really sticks out as the offensive carrier by any stretch. I mean, Ghost has 6 points, Nupro 6 points, Graham 8 points, Reese with 5 points. All of their players, obviously, too. They all have assists, multiple assists. They all have saves. So really strong and cohesive effort on the behalf of Connect 4. I like what they're doing as a team, showing that chemistry. As I said, and some teams, they're more role defined where they have designated strikers, designated goalkeepers, designated midfielders, things like that. But it's not necessarily the only way. Some teams, they also are more of a mix of where everyone can and does do everything. They all assist each other. I always like to bring up teams like Kangarillas, for instance, who, for the longest time, they themselves have said that they are not a position-based team. When people ask them, what position they play, they don't respond because they don't play positions per se. Everyone assists each other all the time. They always go for the extra passes. So the teams that prioritize that, I think the good thing about that is that basically you don't need to be relying on a single person to be hot in a certain match. If everyone can feel good, everyone can feel involved in the offense. That means, if you get someone who's hot one day, great. If you don't, still great. You have 3 others who are just as capable of getting in a good rhythm. So still going on with this timeout here. Another minute and a half or so until they would need to continue on. What's up in the chat as well to Splash and Next Tech, well as Poppy Corcor and Average Toast, Ghost Duck, Southern Sniper, and Crazy Kit. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining here on Channel 2 or Channel 1. Wherever you are, we're having some fun. That much is evident. So yeah, over on Channel 1, again, mentioning tonight, we have Sir Dimwee back in the casting booth, casting some of those matches. Started off with a Master Tier matchup with the new Master Team in 4 Kings versus Aurora. So that may be potentially over by now, but that was going on there. Casted by Dimwee and Glean. Following that, they also have High Voltage versus Gen Z starting somewhere around the next few minutes, I imagine. They also have Spaghetti and Project Mayhem, so another Master Division match there. And then following that, they'll also have Ignite versus Bangerang. Over here on Channel 2, as I mentioned earlier on, we are starting off the primetime North American streams tonight, of course. Here with Connect 4 and Kuroko no Basket. And coming up next, we'll also be having Fire Ferrets versus Chaosify. I believe this will be the second time I've been able to stream both those teams, cast those teams, so we'll have them coming up really soon. Following that, we'll have Big Bad Badger Moles versus Forecast. And I'm going to be excited to cast that match as well. And then later on this channel, the Ancient Athletes versus the Lab Rats, as well as Chaos versus Schrodinger's Disc. A lot of great matches to come here tonight. Hours and hours of content for sure. See, it's Moski in there saying we won our first match today, Team Spades. Well, congratulations. That's awesome to hear. Start getting those wins in spades after here. It's all up. But yeah, glad to hear. That's awesome. And Crazy Kit in there as well. I know Crazy Kit talking about OCE changing a bit in some rosters yet again. That Sunday hype, as you guys call it, I believe. And definitely some interesting matches this week. I know for Crazy Kit, mentioning some successes as well there, winning some games and climbing up the ladder there for your team. Don't tell me. I remember the name. Shots and Giggles. There you go. It was too punny not to remember. With that said, kind of approaching, I mean, we're at 6 minutes now, so I'm going to check in on these teams here. But if this goes on for too much longer, might have to peace out depending, as the tech timeout is kind of over at this point. So give me just a sec. All right, apologies for that. Was just again communicating there with the teams in the Discord, just to kind of see what's up, because depending on how that goes, and if this is going to be a sustained issue, we may need to head to the next match. Otherwise, that said, I think we will have potentially DocEducation joining here again, and Wonder T-Man over on the camera end of things. And while we do have a quick break as well, I do want to shout out, of course, our sponsors here in VRML Season 3. Always happy to have their support here on the streams and for the community. Of course, HyperX, casting on a Quadcast S myself, as some people have seen in the face cams recently over on Channel 1 when I'm doing that. I think Dimwee might also have the face cams activated today, too. Our casters in general, they're free to do so now. It's set up for it, so you may be seeing more face-to-face interaction with your favorite voices of Echo Arena. And I see over there in the chat some more difficult to pronounce names. I don't think I would want to try. Tell me how to pronounce it first. Otherwise, you're gonna make my head explode because it's just been going too wrong as of late. But with that said, it looks like it's potentially starting here 4v3. So we have less than 2 minutes remaining in that case as this unpause goes underway. So yeah, one of the players, I think, just having an issue, unfortunately. Over on No Basket's side. Who was it? Sosax. Yeah, I think that was the one who was also kind of out of the headset, maybe having ping issues. So they are restarting now. And with less than 2 minutes left, down by a couple goals and down by a player, this will be tough to come back for sure. Not impossible, but let's see. That's going to be a clear down the line. That is the last possible thing they wanted, but the shot is not there. I mean, that could have been super devastating there, as one more ding as well happened. So I think for Connect 4, they cannot take this number situation for granted. They better leave that goal covered up unless they want to be upset here at the end. And definitely being wiser about it this time, leaving Graham Cracker in that back line to at least deny any 3-point heaves, because that was definitely a dangerous situation there as a shot goes in from Lucifer. So saying, hey, they don't need a fourth player right now anyways because they still scored. This isn't over, not at all. They need to be super careful at Connect 4. As I said, you can't take anything as guarantees. Got to play 100%, 110% speed still. Otherwise, taking that foot off the pedal will allow teams right back in it before you know it. Less than a minute left, trying to hold on to the disc and into the tunnel there in a emergency clear, basically, as the goal will be open. Now that could ice it, and it shall. New pro. They were sweating there for a second, I guarantee you. But with that, a quick flip, 13 seconds, and they'll turn that into a essential game winner. So with that, we're not going to linger around too long, as we do have the next match already prepared to go in the next few minutes. So as this round and this 2-round series will go to Connect 4 in their successful debut. We're going to go to the score screen and take a quick intermission after that as we go into the next match.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, I hope we're muted. Hi, chat. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to VRML Channel 2. And we got the second in a row for you here on the stream. These teams about to start off. It's Fire Ferrets coming up against Chaosify, two teams that I was able to see a few weeks ago. Last few weeks, got them streamed and making a return here on the stream for VRML Channel 2. Now on the casting booth once more, we've got Wonder on the cameras, Wonder T-Man, and I'm Palidore, and joining me on this co-cast, as promised, it's DocEducation. And what's going on, Doc?
Not much, Pally. Happy to join you. Happy to see these two teams. I think we've casted both of these teams, but yeah, Fire Ferrets, harkens to a loved show of mine. I think you are also a big Avatar fan, and Chaosify. Yeah, looks like Palidore, you casted them a few weeks ago, so it'll be interesting to see how these teams have improved.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to have him back here on stream today, and we'll be Fire Ferrets in the Silver Division, 1120 rounded MMR. Chaosify, kind of same thing in Bronze, but 1120 rounded MMR. So as always is the case, often is the case with these kind of matches, where both teams are on that edge of a new division potentially. The outcome of this match could decide on who keeps silver or gains silver by the end of this week. Is a shot. Wow, that was not weak. That was strong. That's gonna be hockey.
Hockey joining earlier in the chat and letting us know that it is pronounced indeed hockey. Hockey. Hockey is a league sub, so joining Chaosify for this game. And yeah, Fire Ferrets now on their rollout. Arborist passes through the tunnel. This does get lost, though, and Bean picks it up. He's going to look to establish some control, and indeed, Fire Ferrets will retreat, and so Bean will move through mid.
Yeah, hockey is one of those have gotten me all tied up. I was mentioning it last stream. Wasn't aware we were going to stream hockey tonight until moments ago, as you mentioned. But glad I got that all in the noggin now for this time around, as it will be Darth Citrus. Well, that's a great grab and save clear from Kerr.
Cleared through, and the stack for Chaosify did get a pretty good run. They're moving quickly. Bean picks it up. Bean sends it in.
Yeah, Bean just from 2 meters deep. Very quick off of that recovery on that clear. Basically, they wasted no time getting down the floor. They got into the goal before there was too much interference being ran, and well, because of that, they've got themselves 2 goals in a row as this launch out goes for Wolf and Co. Kind of that launch to the bottom catapult there. Not something you see all the time, but every now and then, as it will be stolen from Bean by Bean rather.
And sent through, yeah. And just something to note on that last score by Bean. If you look that back, they only got 1 or 2 regrabs in, but it was good enough. Bean got enough speed and was able to get to the disc quicker as Arborist stuns out Kirk, but then or Kerbrass rather, but then stunned out or yeah, clears it through. Anyway, regrabbing is one of those skills that. You can there's a very high level of possible development. You can always get better at it, but even just having some basic skills of getting 1 or 2 grabs in, you can really change the nature of the matchup, as Hockey is changing the nature of the matchup here. He's got 5 points already.
Yeah, force of nature in this matchup. That's a great look from him, and Hockey just putting in little up and under and up and under and up and under on the defender, trying to make it all kinds of confusing where that disc was gonna go, but yeah, the juking from Hockey there, and 7 points on the lead as Wolf sends it to that Tuttle. Free for the lane currently is Arborist deep down towards that boot. Will bounce back to the bubble where it should be recovered by Kerbrass with a little bit of time, and then to the mid lane, Bean.
Bean now looking to change the nature of the game, change the sides of the arena rather. As the disc is bouncing around in mid, Bean will recover it again. Has a open player on the left. It's Kiki Uri. Is that how you would say that, Palidore?
I think so. Over on the bio, just listed as Kiki, and then saying, "Do you love me?" So I'm assuming, yeah, the reference would mean it is indeed Kikiuri, and you can just say, cut it in half for short, I suppose. You know, it's another one of those names. You don't want to turn out like me, Doc. You don't want to turn out like me in the way that I pronounce things lately. So just make it easy on yourself.
Make it easy on myself. Yeah, we don't want any criticism. We can't handle it as casters. No, we love to be corrected on how we pronounce things. As Wolf corrects the direction of that disc and sends it through over to the Chaosify side. Who's gonna get there first? It is bouncing in the top of the blue bubble. Blue gets to it first, and Bean will recover for Chaosify.
All right, and now Hockey over to the tunnel softly. Getting it right there is Hockey, that is to say, and will be maybe just a self pass right past the arms though. We'll get it eventually, nabbing it off the wall down to the roots. Kikuri will send it off maybe to that cross, looking towards that barrier. Hockey is kind of latched onto there as well. They do have a back pass option at the station if they need it. Just a whirl and a flourish coming in before the handoff pass to the back line. There's Kerbrass getting stunned there with a brass knuckles. And now a recovery from Best Sparky, who sends it flying down the floor.
Sends it flying down the floor, but it doesn't quite pass through mid, and there is a little bit of pressure there, but Best Sparky getting stunned out, so it's currently a 4-on-3 right now. Bean working along the nugget, working down to the right boot, working through traffic. Bean takes on the whole team and puts it in for 2 more.
Yeah, Bean right in the bag, and less than 5 minutes left here in the first round, and unanswered so far on the scores. It would seem. So still trying to find their first goals for Fire Ferrets and seeing if they can muster something up here real soon. But with that, another turnover, Doc, and that's going to be almost in. Starting to get lost a little too much off these jousts.
Yeah, they're having trouble clearing it through to the blue side as the disc is picked back up. Even the right there, Best Sparky doesn't quite get the clear out. It's back in the offensive zone. Pass not being connected there, but yeah, Chaosify when they're getting the disc, they're just spending all the time is happening in the orange side of the bubble, and even just there being making some nice moves again. So yeah, right now Chaosify is really controlling the pace and just all of the tempo and momentum and spacing in this game right now.
Yeah, and record-wise in terms of recent matches here, Chaosify has kind of been going up and down over the weeks, which is to say, they win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Right now, they're winning this round at least by 14 points so far. So trying to find some more wins on the board. Definitely, they had the first couple weeks there. We kind of struggled to start off, but then since then, we're kind of trading back and forth. So with this, they can inch closer to that 50-50 win-loss ratio. They would love to see that and climb that ladder some more. As I said, this match could be very helpful into actually claiming the silver division by the end of this week, because that's where Fire Ferrets are right now with their 5-5 record. So for them, they can't really afford to lose this match, as another shot goes out, but just missing.
Just missing there, and yeah, right now, Hockey and Bean especially are moving pretty good with the disc. Yeah, making some incredible interceptions, long shots, some juking there, as you see again from Bean. Bean attempting to, oh, there is a, yeah, Hockey is hanging out over there, gonna get a little bit of pressure, but passes right back to Bean. So right now they're doing a two-man game, and yeah, they're really controlling it nicely as Bean passes to the bow tie.
Walking it up there, but really had no options. So that's going to be a turnover, good stun, and clear from a Sparky as well. That's the thing. Once you leave the anchor as a QB and you're in the midair, you're basically in no man's land. So you always want to have that next intended pass or shot or whatever the case is already in mind before you leave, because otherwise you're going to enable defenders to just collapse on you just like that. As maybe another turnover here, as nope, will be grabbed actually by a big cluster of blue.
Yeah, it's a good point you say, and yeah, next pass, next shot, or even just like that, Hockey with a little bit of steez on the end there, puts two
A
more
little
into
bit of freeze.
Chaosify. But yeah, you can even have the next geo that you're heading to. So aiming to move from geo to geo. That's kind of one of the we talk a lot about how this sport relates to existing sports, and I think about basketball a lot, and hockey and soccer. And one of the things you want to do in those sports is kind of find open space.
Right.
And so I find myself as a former basketball player kind of hanging out in the middle of between geo sometimes, because it just feels nice. Feels like you can get an easy pass, make an easy pass, but you also can't quite move very quickly. As right now, Fire Ferrets are making their best move of the game, but saved out by Kerbrass. Wow, what a save. That was a great opportunity by Fire Ferrets.
Right, head on, maybe turning into a 3 as well. That is a great shot. Hockey at the moment is playing all kinds of sports. Echo is one of them. They've got 3 more points. They're up to 19.
Yeah, they're looking really good, and I mean they turn that disc around really fast from a great save by Kerbrass to a great rocket from Hockey. So yeah, Chaosify firing on all bullets right now, firing on all
Abs-
cylinders rather.
with all the bullets. That's the point, the bullet point. In any case, down to Best Sparky. Best Sparky setting at left lane. Darth Citrus. Citrus has the potential cutter, hitting the brakes. I like that move. Had it not been for the defender there in the Hockey, that would have actually been great. It took so long for a lot of people to even learn to use their brakes in a smart fashion like that. That said, getting into that bubble, that was in danger of being scored on a couple different times, and yet that clear, maybe even the goal of the Nugget, though, playing some defense.
Wow, yeah, if the Nugget hadn't been there, I think that was a sure goal. Bean looking to make it a sure goal, can't quite connect, went for the right pocket there, but picking it up is Kiki. Passes, beautiful pass, wow, to the man who was in goal just a minute ago, Kerbrass. Yeah, they're looking like they're doing some of that Kango's position exchange you were talking about earlier, Palidore.
Yeah, absolutely. Those just extra passes and getting everyone involved that you can. Now, obviously, I will say standout Hockey coming in 13 points. That is pretty significant in its own right, but still, yet you see Bean had 6, Kerbrass had 2. And those aforementioned players, those last three players, all had assists. So everyone kind of doing a little bit of everything to help out the efforts. A few saves for Cabras and Bean as well with a couple of the saves, and really just a great kind of cohesive round there, anchored around hockey coming in. Not only in the Twitch chat pregame, but also just coming in here, as you mentioned, to sub and definitely kind of freezing out the opposite team to sub-0, it seems.
Absolutely, Palidore. One thing I'm noticing as well is Fire Ferrets, they were played a lot better in the last couple of minutes of that round. They had a couple of really nice opportunities. I think they're making some adjustments. So really looking forward to what they do in round 2. But also, yeah, they need to make some modifications to their rollout on offense, because they're getting a lot of turnovers on the defensive joust for Chaosify on their own offensive joust. And that's a pattern, you can get stuck in, because you just keep giving up goals. You're always on offensive joust, and then you're always giving up goals because you're always on offensive joust. So with that, the neutral joust won by Chaosify. They're doing a little bit of Joker train. Let's see, can they make it in? And they do. A slam from Hockey with the assist by whom, of course? Bean.
The Joker trade making another appearance on stream today. We actually saw, I think, 2 of those yesterday in our streams. They were in the same game, granted, but from opposite teams. But yeah, that stacked up offensive load, just a tough one to wrangle sometimes, and working it all the way in through that bubble. And I will in fact notice you, Sandwich Plug, because I do like sandwiches. Welcome to the Twitch.
Almost there, almost a made shot, and then almost a great rebound. But Fire Ferrets now has control in the offensive zone. Wolf reaching back, grabbing it. He's on the star there. He passes up to Nest, or Shoulder rather. But it's stolen out and sent back to the orange side.
I have now hydrated. Thank you, Cosmic, for the Cosmic Quick non-hydration redemption. I'll so gladly deliver on that end. That said, after the shot, a rebound from Hockey, so maybe a self-pass more so. Bean is going to take that back, has options at the barrier and kind of under the goal there, but dancing around and now losing the shoes, losing the disc as well. Arborist taking that over.
Arbor sending it through. The stack is together for Fire Ferrets. They have an opportunity here, but they go by the disc, and it's picked up by Kiki, stolen immediately back by Arborist. So Fire Ferrets looking to make their offensive move under pressure. Beautiful back pass to Darth Citrus, who sends it left, but stolen again by Hockey.
Now the chains trying to link together. Double chain coming in, or double stack rather, but they get a little split up there. And will be taken by Wolf. Wolf having to avoid, again, that shooting star of a stack. Look at them. Those redirects were just amazing. Right on point. The threes, well, not quite as much, but maybe a rebound here for Bean. Eyeing it down, and now stunning out with a punch to the eye, and now the disc to the sky. Here we go.
Fire Ferrets have a lot of momentum on their side. They're playing really well right now as that disc is sent in, bounces off Nest, but that might be to the benefit of Fire Ferrets as it is loose. No, picked up by Hockey. He's probably going to be able to clear it. He does.
And bouncing right off the top there, near the catapult entrance, Bean taking that away. All the teammates joining on that front line and finding the disc. Another save, Darth Citrus using that force indeed, and that is just another, I think the second save we've seen kind of like that. But that said, the tough thing is they have to do it again because of rebound for Bean and co.
Bean now passes over to Hockey on the pillar. Wow, 17-meter anchor shot with some authority.
And welcome Unsound Dash as well in the chat. You're a legend of untold varieties. And Cosmic asking they qualify for the channels, right. Yeah, so the channels point stuff all on channel 1 mainly because, well, for instance, with the Challenger Cup, we do the venue streams, which channel 1 we can't stream on channel 1 because of the affiliate Twitch affiliate and stuff like that. So it's also good to have kind of the overflow channels for further use during some certain venues, nights, and other things like that. Anyway, back to the game here.
Picked up by Kiki on the back line. It looks like Hockey is going to grab on and get a little bit of a boost there. Hockey does take a shot. Holy cow. Wow.
going for the more difficult mail slot, you can call it. The one from obviously above, that's the more common one. The slot from below, though, that is a very tough hit, just because of the way you have to either, underarm it, which is not necessarily everyone's most natural release motion, or you have to kind of crank your neck to go overhand. So that is a tough hit, and Hockey doing it, making it look easy. That was great. As was
Looking
that.
great right
As was
there.
that.
Oh, what a save, but then what a steal by Darth Citrus to put Fire Ferrets on the board for the first time.
Yeah, what a way to get it. A save, which was nice, but talk about saves. Well, Darth Citrus had already had a save or two earlier on we talked about, and saying, hey, I know that play. You can save it, but I'm going to take it right back, and I'm going to put it where it needs to be. So Citrus definitely injecting a little bit of rhythm now into their game. They still got 5 minutes left in this round. They're only down by 5, so that is maybe a great way to get them started, especially with a turnover here. The goal is open with the pass, a little off and tough on the catch.
Yeah, that real tough, but they do have an opportunity again. They're putting a little bit of pressure on, but the disc is cleared out. So the stack, it looks like, will recover for Fire Ferrets. No, moving more quickly is Chaosified. They get to the disc. Bean is going to work his way in. He's going to slam it in.
And back up by 7, 9-2 here in round 2. Following that first round victory and trying to get back on the board once more to react. I mean, we saw they had a chance. That the pass was just a little bit too far behind that cutting player. And, just minor things like that can make all the difference. And so far, Chaosify has been doing a pretty nice job to punish on some of these instances. And as they do try for this rollout, maybe a little bit struggled at first, will muscle it through finally and get it all the way to the other end. But again, just a missed catch. In no small part thanks to that defense from Kikuri on that receiver.
Yeah, if you're watching this game and you're maybe a little new to Echo, and you're comparing these players against the master players, this kind of shows you. I mean, these are really good players from both of these teams, and it just shows you how difficult it is to make all of these passes connect, make these shots connect from deep, even deep into the standings. You've got players who are making incredible shots like that. Bounce shot from 9 meters, 3 for 3 for Hockey.
Yeah, the Hockey player here has been doing some damage on streams the last couple nights, it seems, and doing it again off that backboard. That was pretty intense. That said, questions in the chat there on the ranks. So, kind of mentioned this at the beginning, but for Fire Ferrets, they're in silver. For Chaosify in bronze, but they're both 11-20 rounded MMR, so they're right next to each other, neck and neck. This match could definitely help or hurt the efforts in terms of Fire Ferrets sustaining silver the rest of this week after it's over, or Chaosify maybe earning the rights to become a silver team here following these matches. So definitely a game with some divisional stakes as we do make our way to the final 245 of round 2.
Picked up by Hockey again. He's going to work his way along the left side, doing a little bit of dodging on the pillar there. Can't quite connect with that long shot. It'll bounce back.
And Kikuri with the disc look at that swarming defense there in the bubble. Everyone just all over the place. That's some good coverage I'm seeing coming in, and a good clear as well from Arborist. So I like that dive defense from the Fire Ferrets and trying to fire off maybe into the other side if they can get that speed going, as well as that grab, but just missing the player there, Hockey, as Hockey gets it off. Actually, the dome, it looks like, of the stack.
Wow, and that almost made it. Oh, stolen by Hockey right at the goal and just put in.
That was almost nuts on that. The clear went off the head, I believe, of one of the players, and yeah, that was nearly in itself. So they still get the points, but that was almost going to be a 1 in 10,000 type of highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it would have made it, but a great save nonetheless. As the disc bounces through, it's on the ceiling. It will have an opportunity for the Fire Ferrets, but no, can't quite get there. Is Arborist. They will be under pressure though, and it looks like Bean will clear it out into the orange side.
And as it does bounce up high here towards that mid lane, it's Hockey, the star here, definitely with some of these shots in this game. Been burning hot, and another one will bounce off, but rebounded by Kerbras. Kerbras backboard again. Same results, and a rebound at the wedge.
Hockey picking it back up, looks for teammates, not under pressure, so wow. Wow, Palidore. Hockey putting on a show here.
Yeah, definitely. Hockey again off that backboard. So, in those types of instances, and I say this as someone who's been scored on just like that plenty of times as well. You know, goalkeeping is just beyond me at times. A lot of great players at it though. But with that, if you one of the things that you can do differently if you're having trouble reading off the backboard specifically, just try diving out on the shot instead of waiting for it to bounce. For instance, in that case, at least, like I think it may have been diveable, but either or. It's also one of those things too that people have actually gotten really good in this league at not only making those backboard shots, but even making it off the backboard and into pockets at the same time, which makes it all the more difficult for goalkeepers. So, uh, yeah, the offensive game is ever evolving, and it's tough to deal with, certainly sometimes, with players like these.
Too true. And I know there's a great video out there. I think Venom did it. It was Sir Dimwee did a goalie training session. As the
Yeah.
clock winds down, it will be Chaosify taking round 2. But yeah, Dimwee talks a little bit about how to take a bounce shot and just how to understand about the angles and know that it's a if it hits the flat, it will probably be a pretty predictable angle. Just thinking about that and being able to react backwards really helped me. And it just takes a little bit of practice, and you can make those saves. And when you just turn around and reach backward and immediately stop a disc that's bouncing off backboard, you just feel really cool.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that you do. And then when you don't, you feel like a total fool. Like I said, I've been there. But nonetheless, that's why I always praise goalies, because I know how difficult that job is. And there's just a lot of great ones out there. But with that, we do have the next match already, well, just about ready to go. So we're going to redirect here in a second. I actually think we're going to switch cams really quickly. So you guys may see the stream actually end here in a moment, but we'll be back like within a minute. So refresh if you don't see anything. But we'll be back coming up next. We're going to have the... not the fire ferrets. We just did the fire ferrets. The big bad badger moles. How am I gonna say that fast without messing up? Against Forecast. So that will be here on channel 2. We shall be back in a moment. Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.